go to the great state of Utah. Mr. Burgess, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for witnesses being here today. It's one thing to hear about the bigoted behavior present on today's college campuses. It's utterly appalling to hear the activist teachers that are doing the same in our classrooms, spreading the vitriol of hate to our children in classrooms throughout our nation. Unfortunately, and all too often, these carriers of hate are teachers and school administrators. And this is going down to our kids that's supposed to be teaching. Children as young as 2nd grade are being taught to hate Jews. Question is, how did this come about? Mr. Banks, I have a quick question.
Sure.
In the press release shortly after the events of Hillcrest High School, where students stormed the building demanding a teacher's resignation and attempted to enter the teacher's room, where she hid, you said, this notion that this place, these kids are radicalized and anti-Semitic is the height of irresponsibility. Do you think that these kids were not radicalized? Do you stand by that statement?
First of all, let me say this. Hillcrest High School is the school that I graduated from, so that school is very personal to me.
I'm sorry, I only have a few minutes.
Right.
This statement, do you still stand by this statement?
My statement at that time was that, yes, I stand by that statement. The entire school was not radicalized. Yes.
All right, so if this was a black teacher, and these were kids coming in because of her skin, because of her background, hiding out for 2 hours in a classroom, these are high school kids.
I know that.
Would you still say that this is not radicalized? There's something wrong with this?
Those kids engaged, the kids who were responsible, who led that effort, engaged clearly in an act of anti-Semitism.
Okay, so I'm really,
and I dealt with that and responded to it.
My question is, if this is a black teacher being threatened and pushed by some white bigots, would you still say that these kids are not a problem, that's not being radicalized by hatred?
If it was a black teacher that was being targeted, absolutely unacceptable, and this was unacceptable.
Okay,
we
so
absolutely
let me ask you this:
action, including removing the principal of the school.
I'm sorry. Were there any consequences? I mean, I'm hearing nice words, really nice words here: teaching, redirecting, directing. What I'm missing is discipline, and I'm missing the word fired. Has anything happened to these kids that did this to this teacher's hiding out for 2 hours?
Well, I'm not sure if you heard clearly from what I said. What I said was very clear. We suspended a number of students who were the leaders at Hillcrest High School, number one. Number two, we removed the principal of that school for a lack of leadership and oversight. I don't know how to make it much clearer.
Okay.
I condemn clearly what happened at Hillcrest was a complete act of anti-Semitism. It will not stand on my watch. We responded, and I don't know how to make it any clearer.
No, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear somebody was fired in that. Was the principal fired or just transferred to another school?
The principal was removed from the school.
Was he taken to another school, or was he fired?
He's not in another school. No, he's not in front of any more children.
Okay. Ms. Marthel, the Brandeis Center has reported at most misguided administrators have attempted to resolve problems involving teachers by moving students, Jewish students and Israeli students into new classes. As a result, antisemitism is normalized. Quick question: how does this work? So you find teachers that are bigots, and instead of firing them, you transfer them to another school where they can still remain bigots? Is that the way this works?
I'm a little confused by the question. You started with students being moved, and then you went to teachers being moved. I'll tell you that it's not something that we normalize. It's not something that we agree with, and we take action every time there's any concern or complaint.
I'm just trying to understand how this works. When you have teachers that are teaching hate to our kids and showing it, and our students are feeling fearful for this, are they fired or do they just transfer to another school? It appears that they're just moving to another place. In this case here, I guess that's the question I have. How is this being resolved?
If we have a concern or a complaint about anti-Semitism or any form of hate, we take it very seriously, we investigate, and we take action pending the outcome of that investigation. Okay,
all right, so I guess the action is not firing, it's just moving to someplace. The word of action is very subjective, obviously. Mr. Silvestri, real quickly, there's been several complaints filed by the Department of Education of Civil Rights. And again, what resulted in one administrative leave and the 3 others merely being transferred. I'm going to ask you the same questions. How is this working out? Or do we have a process in which you can actually get bad teachers out of the classroom, bad administrators that are teaching our kids to hate like this? Are we addressing that at all?
In all of those cases, the teachers were put on leave so that we could do a thorough investigation. Disciplinary action was taken.
I guess I'm just concerned. We want results. We want discipline. We see what's happening to our kids, and we've not taken out the cancer, which is these teachers coming in, administrators, that's pushing down their hate. Every day in these classrooms is a bad day for our kids. So are we getting rid of any of these people? Or just taking action, or other actions?
Disciplinary action has been taken on all of those cases.
Okay,
and
but they're not being fired.
They understand any other further action will lead to up to determination.
Okay,
Representative
all right,
Owens.